Thank you. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, everyone. I think it's past 12:30 now. I'm Carrie Schuckschneider. I'm the program coordinator of the Fitness and Health Promotion Program, as well as faculty. It's great to connect with you virtually today and tell you a little bit about our program and what we do here at Niagara College. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about admission requirements. Students are often interested in ensuring, of course, that you have the admission requirements prior to sending your application in. I'm going to talk a little bit about the program from a broad perspective, the types of courses you take, what some of the coursework looks like, and then also highlight some of the key pieces that are important for why you should choose Niagara College. And then, of course, students are often interested in what happens after graduation. So where are those job opportunities and what type of employment do students obtain after graduation? So first, the admission requirements. So you'll see that there are a couple of them here. So you are required to have your English, so any grade 12 college or university or equivalent. And then we ask that you have one science. So there's a list of options there. It can be biology, chemistry, physics, some schools, depending on what our offerings are. It could be something like an introductory to kinesiology course or an exercise science. So anything that would fit under those criteria. So an English and one of these science requirements. One of the first questions I often get from students coming into our program is, well, who is a fitness professional, or what is a health professional? What does that actually mean with regards to long-term employment? So these are some of the key job opportunities or names that you might see of the types of employment that students are working in. So we're looking at students becoming certified personal trainers, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about certification coming up. It might be someone who's a fitness trainer or a fitness consultant. They might be employed in a role that's called a wellness coach or fitness coach. They might lead groups with regards to physical activity and exercise, in which you'd be a group exercise leader or a fitness exercise leader. Or we have some students that go a little bit down a related pathway, which would be a health promoter. And this might be someone that's involved more in the development and the delivery of any type of health related type of programming. Just to provide you with some general program overview, we are a 2-year college diploma. There's 4 semesters. So as mentioned, we start in September, and then you have your winter term in January. We follow a 7-1-7 structure, which means you have 7 weeks of classes. You get both a fall break and a spring break in the winter term, and then 7 more weeks of classes. In terms of course load, you have about 6 to 7 courses per semester. Most courses are about 3 hours each, and some of them you will have that are 2 hours each. So it's somewhere between about, I'd say, 19 and 21 actual hours of classes per term. You also have the opportunity to have 2 field placements, and these are both take place in your second year. We have a large variety of placement partners that offer opportunities to students to fill some of those various roles that I just discussed. And this is a really good opportunity for you to build your resume. So at the end of your studies upon graduation, you've gained a total of 150 hours of some type of field work related to the fitness and health industry. Another good opportunity at the end of our program is that you have the opportunity to challenge industry certifications at the end of both your first year and upon graduation. So at the end of your first year, you've taken a course in exercise leadership, and you've taken another wide variety of courses that help prepare you to become a group exercise instructor through the Ontario Fitness Council. So we work directly with the Ontario Fitness Council, or OFC. You might want to look up that organization if that's something that you're interested in. And if you meet the theory and as well as practical requirements at the end of your first year, you can obtain that certification without actually having taking their official exams, because we've built the requirements into our program. So I have a few students in first year right now who are getting prepared for those examinations. At the end of your 2 years, you do have the opportunity to challenge a personal training certification. We work with the Canadian Society for Exercise Physiology, in which you'd obtain a CSEP CPT certification. This organization requires that you do have a minimum of 2 years of a college diploma in order to be eligible to become a personal trainer. So there are a wide variety of organizations out there that do offer personal training certification, but due to the high requirements and the necessity of post-secondary education, CSEP is really the gold standard with regards to personal training certification in our industry. Our program can also help prepare you for what's known as the high performance specialization. And this would be for anyone who's interested in working as maybe more of a strength and conditioning coach, or working with athlete development, even young kids in training in preparation for their sport. So this certification isn't built directly into our curriculum. However, your courses can help prepare you to challenge those exams after graduation. So you do have to have your personal training certification first. And then if you would like to go into the area of strength and conditioning, you will have the opportunity through CSEP to apply for that next certification. Some of our curriculum highlights are listed here on the slide. This is basically a summary of some of the main courses that you'll be taking. And as you can see, they relate to those titles that we talked about with fitness consultants, wellness consultants, personal training. We look a lot into science in the first year of your studies. So you have courses in physiology and exercise physiology, also anatomy. I talked about that group fitness class, and then we get into what I'll call maybe the meat and potatoes of the program, where we get into fitness assessments, resistance training, and exercise programming or program design. With being a health professional in the industry, there is definitely a strong relationship with having a background knowledge in nutrition. So you also take a course in nutrition, biomechanics, and you have a couple courses where we focus in on exercise prescription for special populations as well. So the program design course focuses on what we'll call healthy populations, and then your special populations course focuses on how exercise changes if you are working with someone who has heart disease or cancer, or if your client is pregnant. So there is a wide variety of background knowledge to know when it comes to activity and prescribing exercises for a wide variety of populations. We also like to focus on counseling and motivation techniques, as this is really important when working with clients and helping them work towards achieving their exercise goals. We also have prevention and treatment of injuries, so get a little bit of background in that area, as well as marketing and entrepreneurship, which is a great course for anyone who is interested in maybe starting their own business or working independently. And then the last one listed there is health promotion programming. And health promotion programming helps look at the steps involved with creating any type of program that might be delivered through, for example, like the public health department or through a community center. So it takes a look at the kind of putting the pieces together of starting with a research background, the needs of the population, and then all the way through to evaluation. A few pictures here of our students in action over the years. So we've had a lot of opportunity to work in very small class sizes over the years, as our lab space, when you're there with a small group of students, only seats up to 20. So some of your classes, your theory classes that I mentioned, things like physiology, exercise physiology, you would be in courses like that with all the students, which could be anywhere between 60 and 80. But then as the pictures here of our students working in our labs is when we get to have our hands-on learning. We work with lots of pieces of equipment. We see a couple in the top picture there, one of our students taking someone through a sit and reach assessment. You learn how to take blood pressure, and then of course how to prescribe and set people up appropriately on equipment. So the hands-on piece, you spend a lot of time in these. There are 2 lab spaces. We're going to show you a little video coming up in a little bit as well. And it's really nice to have the time within these spaces to really develop a lot of your skills. So you have your theory classes that are complemented with other classes where you spend a lot of time developing your skills. On this slide, I have a few more experiential learning opportunities that we've been involved with over the years. So these are a lot of our community partners that we've worked with. So we've done some corporate wellness initiatives. One initiative we had last year was working with Pathstones Mental Health, and we supported them in their employee wellness program. We've worked with Canadian Tire Financial Services and their employee wellness program in the past. Tabor Manor, which is a long-term care independent living facility. We've had our students go in and perform the senior fitness test with their older adult population there. And we also like to support other programs in our school. So we have in 2 of your courses, you often have the opportunity to work with students in other programs by providing exercise programming for them. So we've worked with the OTA PTA program, a lot of the justice studies programs. So those would be students who are down the pathway of becoming police officers or correctional workers, and they have physical testing to pass. And this year, and as well as last winter, we worked with the winery and viticulture students. So it's a really great opportunity to network with other students and support them in their fitness needs as well. We offer every winter personal training, generally to Niagara College staff and students, which again is another good resume builder. And we've done other events such as having a 5-kilometer run walk on campus. And last year and this year, we're looking at having supporting the SHISM recruitment event as well. So just a nice list here to discuss some of what we'll call experiential learning opportunities, where you really get to apply a lot of that hands-on work by working with either community members or other students or the Niagara College community as well. Another thing I wanted to mention today is our articulation agreements, or what other opportunities there are for post-secondary education after graduation. So if you're considering a degree in kinesiology or physical education, if that's something you're thinking about and maybe you've undecided if you want to go to college first or go to university, or if you're thinking long-term, we sometimes get our students after their 2 years, they decide they love our program. They weren't really thinking about going to university at that time, but now all of a sudden they found their passion and they want more. So we have a nice relationship with Guelph Humber University, where you can complete 2 years with us at Niagara College. You attend what's called a bridging semester, May to August after graduation. And then in this fall of that following year, you jump into year 3 of their program. So you can obtain your college diploma in fitness and health, your honors bachelor of applied science and kinesiology, and you've still done that within 4 years' time. You also have the opportunity to get those certifications I talked about and develop a lot of those skills by attending college first. So I like to let students know about this opportunity coming in to, again, start thinking long-term and big picture. A university degree is sometimes required for other certifications in our industry. So it increases your scope of practice to become either a registered kinesiologist, a clinical exercise physiologist, which works with clinical populations, or more high-risk populations, or again, strength and conditioning coach. There's some advanced certifications for that opportunity as well. We also have an international opportunity where we've built a relationship with Hartberry University. And after completing our program, we have sent 1 student so far, because this is a new relationship, for what they call a top-up year. So after completing our program, they went to Hartberry University, which is in England, and they completed their honors bachelor in sports performance within just 1 year. And she's having a really good time there. I was actually just talking to her a couple of weeks ago. There's a website that listed there for pathways if you want to investigate any further information about that. This is just a few more snapshots of that lab space that I was talking about. So our labs are only for our fitness and health students, and we also have a grad certificate in exercise science. So they're only used between our 2 programs, which is really nice that we have a dedicated learning space for just our students. And I think we can probably go to the next slide and we'll show you the video of one of our students, Kenan, who put this together last year for us. So he's going to give you a little tour around some of the things we do in lab. right. Kenan did a great job on that video. He put that together for a recruitment event last year. But you could see a lot of demonstrations there from Kenan going through a lot of exercises and some of the assessment pieces that you'd be participating in those spaces. One of the final things I wanted to highlight is around graduate success. So where are graduates working? We see a lot of students getting hired in fitness centers. These might be private or commercial fitness centers, so depending on where you're living. And this is where we'd see those students supporting those roles as fitness or personal trainers, fitness consultants, etc. We also have a handful of students that start work with community or recreation centers. And again, these would be supporting some type of health programming, or perhaps fitness centers, various activities that might go on within those recreation centers. We've had some students receive work with workplace wellness companies. So this would be a company who provides workplace wellness for another external partner. More recently, we also see our students getting employed in clinical settings. So this is where they would get hired to work alongside a physiotherapist or a chiropractor and support more of the rehabilitation of exercise. Or perhaps depending on the space, there might be training opportunities out of those facilities as well. As we've seen a lot of spaces be converted to a lot more health center type of approach with multiple types of practitioners and individuals to support the wellness of the clients. Self-employment is also a big area of employment for our students as well. Again, just chatting with some graduates from last year who's really jumped into this online virtual world of training, which has been a really exciting piece to add to what we do, and definitely not something that was popular up until the past 2 years. So our students are able to offer their services now, just not locally, but they have the ability to expand their networks outside their city, outside their provinces, and really connect with a larger clientele base. So in summary, this is just, if you're looking for employment opportunities, these are some of the places that you would probably want to maybe start looking at different job postings, maybe job duties, and the types of things that would be happening in those facilities. I'm going to turn it over to Alex. Alex, thanks for coming on today. Alex is one of our second-year students, and he's going to talk a little bit about his student experience.
Hey, everybody. That was a good presentation that we were just shown. Thanks to Kenneth for that video over there. Great work. As stated, I'm Alex Hastings. I'm a second-year student in the Fitness and Health Promotion Studies at Niagara College. And over the course so far from this program, like was mentioned before, I've engaged in various lab activities, different kinds of assessments that you might face on the CSEP or other fitness tests that you choose to take. It's a very accurate experience to what you would get out in the actual field on the job. Currently, I'm in my first semester, second year for my first placement at a fitness studio in St. Catharines, Ontario. It's really everything I've learned in this class. I was able to translate it very well so far into my placement. It's just, if you're really into fitness and you want to make a difference in people's lives, you want to see them better themselves or even improve themselves further from what they already are, then this program, from my experience so far, is a great choice for you. And just going off of that, I think that's basically the summary of my experience so far.
Thanks, Alex.
No problem.
My contact information is just listed here if you want to jot that down. If you do have additional questions after today's session, feel free to connect with me via email, or I am on campus 3 days a week right now. So I'm available to chat on the phone if that's easier for you. But if you do have any questions about anything we talked about today, we're glad to take them at the end. But if something comes up after, feel free to connect with me.